or give me the
It's
kitchen?
a ton.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Welcome back to Ribbon Candy. Okay. I'm Deanna.
They want to steal this way.
Struggling with technology. So we are outside, and I'm going to head inside in a minute. We are at the Thistle. I told you we were going to do a live show at the Thistle Needleworks in Wethersfield, Connecticut. This is the Silestine Highway. Come inside with me where it's quieter. This is a beautiful, large needlepoint store that does do mail order, right? So anything that you see in here is something that you could get later. Thistle Needleworks. And again, Wethersfield, Connecticut. We're going to go inside and talk to Judy, the owner, and her daughter, Karen. And look at some of the stuff that's for sale here, because a lot of the products that they have in this store will cross over to rug making, right? Whether you do rug hooking or you do miniature punch, Russian punch, there's a lot of things here that will cross over to what we do. Judy is over here. This is the store owner.
Good morning.
And this is Karen, Judy's daughter.
And store owner. And co-owner, sorry.
And
owner.
owner.
People don't realize that I have.
Of course. You're not just the daughter.
No. After 20-some odd years here, no.
You have a bigger stake in it. And you do, I want to say it right away, right? You can mail stuff to people.
Absolutely. We have half our business is online and shipping.
Okay.
More than half.
Yeah. So if you and if they don't see something online that we're seeing today, is that
Right.
possible to give a call or something
Call or
like
email,
that?
Email's probably best.
Email.
She sends us pictures of what you're looking
Yep.
for. We can help you out.
Yep. See, that's great because not everybody has a needlepoint store near them. So I was very lucky when I came in here to see this shop, to see how much inventory is here, and as a rug maker to start thinking about things that I can use in my rug projects. And I'm thinking smaller at this moment. You know that I'm working on a miniature Russian, right, punched project, a small Paul Klee inspired project, using some of the wool that's over here on the wall. Judy, I'm going to start over here, and we're just going to look at what's in the store. Now, this is mostly needle point, cross stitch.
Yes,
Yeah.
threaded needle.
Threaded needle. So
As
we,
a- yeah. No quilting,
No
no
quilting.
knitting, no crochet.
right.
But they could be, but there's a crossover too. quilting and-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we work with a hook, but we can also work with a needle, right? We're
Sure.
textile people, and there's a ton
Exactly.
of crossover.
Yeah.
So there's lots of what you would expect to find, patterns, right? Patterns for needlepoint and cross stitch, but there's lots of other things. Like behind you here, these are the frames that you put together for needlepoint, right?
Correct.
And
And
some,
this company also makes the rug hook, the hook, the small stand that you have.
yes. So this comes up a lot in shows, in person, people saying, can I use needlepoint stands for rug hooking? And the answer is always yes, right? Because if you have a needlepoint stand, all you need to do is to attach your project foundation cloth onto the stand. And these would work, I think, really good for punch needle, right? You need to attach them with pins or somehow you need to get them on, just like the old time, right? The Garrett Blue Nose and all those people taking pantyhose and wrapping it to make it extra tight right around the edges. You can use these kinds of frames for what we do too, particularly punch, because you only need to be on top, you don't need to be under too. So there's this kind of thing. And then I'm coming in here, and the other day I was looking at these books. There's so many books here. And interesting titles, not just about needle arts, but other things. What's the thing, Judy, with the balls where you make the balls?
Tomorrow, I
Yeah.
have a sample over here.
Oh, let's look at that. Let's look at that. Oh, whoa, that's such a sample. Holy, how did I miss that earlier?
Because it wasn't here.
Oh my
asked someone
God,
to bring it in.
look at that. You got to get a close-up of this thing. This is insanity. Did you make this?
I did not. Janice, one of our people, did.
Good Lord.
And that one is, and she did it with Robin, who's her teacher.
That is absolutely
And,
nutty.
It is, there are 12 motifs, each representing 1 month of the year.
What's better than that? Is it styrofoam on the inside?
It is styrofoam, and then you can see it takes many, many, many spools of thread to
Oh,
wrap it
God.
perfectly before you lay it all in.
Tamari.
Tamari.
I
It's
can't say
Japanese
tempura.
technique. No. They're both Japanese.
They're both very good.
Yes, yes. They now made with styrofoam balls. I think she said this is a 9-inch. And of course the smallest ones are, 3 or 4 inches is what you start
Yeah,
with.
like a
and you learn
Christmas
to go.
ornament. Is this
Christmas
something
ornament.
that's taught here sometimes?
We started out teaching here and then the pandemic hit.
Yes.
So now Robin has a small group of, I think, 5 students who work with her on a monthly basis at one of their homes.
Okay. This is, can you see all the thread in this? Is this cuckoo? I mean, and then, so I'm guessing the green thread is like the background, but then
Right.
these are
Okay.
like your threads on the wall.
Right. Oh yeah, most of this is pearl cotton, but the metallic, you see, is the guideline that is set in, and then everything else.
Oh, it's like a
weaves into that.
spider's web.
Exactly. That starts out with that, and then
Oh
everything
my
else is attached to
gosh.
it.
So the metallic is like the skeleton to it, and then you're kind of weaving
Essentially, yes, with a needle, of course.
with
but
a
yes.
needle.
But you come up, you go wrap around and come down, and wrap around this one, come up. Wrap
That's
around.
remarkable. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm guessing that this took a lot of hours.
Well, as I said, they did one a month, so they probably would have started it in class and probably finished it up.
so this was the
by the
work
end
of a
of the-
year. God, what a great
Well,
way.
didn't take a whole year, obviously.
No.
I would say that, laying it all out and, of course, putting in the grid lines for the outlines would have been probably what the girls have done with everything else and are used to doing it. As I said, I was not in the class. But,
And some of them have beading, right? There's one over here that's beaded. And that is so cool. It's just fun to return to a project every month, right? And add another component.
there's your poinsettia for,
Wow, and this is like a little log cabin quilt here.
in a way.
Oh, this is almost like a Celtic.
No, that one's bamboo. That's the Japanese symbol or flower for January.
Interesting.
So each one is the Japanese flower for a particular month.
Wow, that is super, super cool. I had never heard of this before. But there's a book over there on
On Tamari.
Tamari. I almost said
Is, yeah.
tempura again.
Yeah.
What is
This
wrong
is
with
not
me?
edible.
This
No,
is not edible.
edible. No.
Gosh, that's gorgeous, isn't it? All right, well, head over to the books again. That's extraordinary. I love projects that go by the month, Gives you some kind of yearly continuum.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So I was really enjoying the books because I came this past weekend after the event at the Weathersfield Museum, right, the Digging Deeper, and I was going through these books, found a lot of interesting things, and then I came to this wall, right, which for a textile person is absolutely incredible. So unlike what we see as rug hooking people, right, we're seeing tons of little hanks. They're tiny twists that are 5 yards, right? And they're different contents, right? These are called sampler threads, and you can see that. Are these all listed online, Judy?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
And
so
they
you
come
can.
in either 5 or 10 yards.
Okay, 5 or 10 yards.
And actually, they come like this, and we just twist them up so we get more on the wall.
I think that's smart. I think that's really smart. These are absolutely beautiful and such a huge range of colors, right? And if you're thinking about using these for mini punch, how many ply are these?
These are 6 strand.
Okay, so you would either use one of the larger punch systems, right? Not
Well,
like one
no,
of the
you-
2 or 3
You
strands?
could use 1 strand, 2 strand, or 3 strand.
'Cause you would
depending on the punch you
separate.
have, Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
So you could, if you're like, hey, I love the habanero color or the hibiscus color, then you just get it, you cut it, you sort of unravel it, right? You take the
Strip
strands apart, strip
called
it,
stripping it.
strip it. And then you've got the right number of strands for your punch needle, whether it's pretty punch, the ultra punch, whatever. And this probably works the same way. How are these
Those are
different?
the same. Different brand, different dyer, still a 6 strand floss.
God, it's beautiful. It feels a little more stiff, this one, a little less glossy, more linen-y. This one feels more,
Still 100% cotton.
Still
It may be
100%
the base
cotton.
thread, it may be the dyes they're using.
yeah,
We're not
beautiful.
in on that end. We're just in on.
Just in on the
Just
selling
selling
end.
it, yep.
God, they're gorgeous. They're so highly saturated. And some of them are multicolors, right?
Many of them are. Matter of fact, these are more subtle than
Yeah.
those, which are quite variegated.
These are really, variegated, and they're just intense, beautiful colors. Oh, look at this one. Look at how bright that is. Purple Rain. And then we come over here to these, and these are yet
Those
again
are-
different.
That's again from Weeks Dye Works, and it would be the same color range as these, but these are pearl cotton number 5. You can see the big 5 on the label.
And
they
these seem
also
like
make-
it's a higher twist.
it's
Like,
a tighter twist.
Yeah.
That's correct. It's essentially a twisted thread, the equivalent of 6 strands of floss. Excuse me, the
Wow.
5 is the equivalent of 6 strands of floss.
it's so, it's so nice to look at stuff like this in color plan, right? Because the colors are just absolutely lush.
So you can't really separate these. Obviously, they're twisted.
Because they're
and-
twisted too
Yeah,
tight.
if you separate them, you'll ruin them.
But this would certainly go through my punch that I use. I use the pretty punch. I like the ultra punch too, but I use the pretty punch. This would certainly go through that without a question. And it probably go through that really nice too, because it's not as cottony as Pretty Punch's own brand, right, of spool, that snags a lot. That I think would go through even nicer. And
That is Threadworks, which again is a stranded floss, stranded cotton. That is there used to be a brand called Needle Necessities, and they went out of business. And their lead dyer started Threadworks, and they now make all the same threads and pretty much the same threads in the same color range. They just gave them all new names. All new
interesting.
numbers.
And like, the needle pointers who come in here, do people have like a real preference, one brand
definitely.
over the other? Okay.
Definitely, maybe not so much a brand
Yeah.
as a type of thread.
Right.
Many people really want silk.
Yes.
They don't want cotton. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't say they don't want cotton, but
Yeah.
they much prefer silk.
Do people sometimes use more than one fiber in the same project?
Constantly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if Karen can find something that has, when we're talking about a needle point,
Yep.
cost is a little different. They tend to be all one thread.
So look at the crown, look at this guy, this is needlepoint. Look at all the different fibers.
Oh, the
in that.
nutcracker.
Different
The
kinds of
nutcrackers.
threads.
I mean, of course,
Oh,
any
wow.
of these, I mean, there's
Yeah.
different fibers.
What
there's
I'm
silk,
looking for
there's
is what would it be in real
wools,
life?
there's-
So the crown is something like flare or frosty rays. Of course, metallics, the faces are floss. If I'm doing a Santa, he's going to have ultra suede belt with a gold metallic buckle. And he's
yeah.
going to have a velvet coat
Oh,
over a
God.
silk garment
Yeah.
and shoes that are patent leather or something like that.
Well, this craft is so attractive to me because, as rug hookers, when you're making something, you need yardage of wool that's like $30, $40 a yard. But with this craft, you get these small things and they're very inexpensive, and then you get lots of different colors. I mean, it's just fun to
yeah.
think of smaller scale projects using these kinds of
And
materials.
that's why this company, for instance, does both 5 and 10 yard skeins.
Yeah.
Not everybody does. Actually, the Threadworks comes in. We stock the 20-yard skeins, but I think they also come in there at 5-yard skeins.
Gosh, they are
We
so
stock
pretty.
the 20-yard skeins.
They have such great sort of evocative names too. I just saw Old Covered Bridge, or, Rag Doll. They're
Garden
so
Trellis.
sweet. Garden Trellis. This is Colorworks. This is still cotton, right?
This is most simple. Yeah, these all along here are all cottons that we're working with.
Okay.
Other than above, yes.
Yep. And above, these are the wool, right? Because I
Those
got a
are the
bunch
wools
of
from
these.
from the Gentle Art, right?
Right. So these are the ones I got that I showed on the video. I'm going to get more of these today for a different project. But these are the Gentle Art, right? 100% wool. And this has got to be like one ply, right?
It's very thick.
It's the equivalent probably of 2 strands of the floss.
Yeah, that
It
would
may be a
definitely
2-ply
go.
Twist, but it's,
Yeah, you might even with the kind of with the punch project I'm going to do with this, I'm probably going to double it up to punch it, because it is super thin. So there's going to be no issue with something like this if you are mini punching. It doesn't matter if you have like the 1 or 2 strand. I think this is really going to work. And some people, at least within rug making, are all about wool. It's got to be wool. And then this would be a great choice for you because there's so many different colors. And again, this brand is the Gentle Art, and they are here. And they are shippable, and these are it's like super sweet tactile wool, right? Now, was there a question? What about these? These are the metallics, right?
Those are metallics in various different weights. Again, those are from the same company, Threadworks.
Okay.
And they take the base thread, which we have over here, and overdye it.
Okay. I mean, those are
Which is
extraordinary.
basically what's happening with all of these cotton threads. They're starting with raw materials. In some cases, they're starting with the raw material that's just neutral,
Yeah.
white ecru, and overdyeing. And sometimes they're starting with a color, so they'll start with one shade of, let's say, red, and then overdye it with more shades of red.
Yep.
But,
The same kind of
again, I'm
dyeing.
not really into the manufacturing part,
Yeah.
but I mean, something like this is sort of wild and crazy.
Wild and
And
crazy.
usually, some people will try to control the
Where the
color,
colors fall. Yeah.
but usually we don't. Usually we just sort of let it happen.
Yeah. A lot of people, I'm sure, who are watching, do a lot of dyeing of wool
Oh,
for
no doubt.
supplies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is, we love to use the really colorful, color changing stuff for backgrounds because it creates a pattern for you. I'm wondering, I'm going to get some of the metallic, I'm wondering how that will punch.
Well, the metallics, again, like the other threads, all come in various different weights. what's called a blending filament, which is extremely thin, almost thinner than the wool you're looking at.
Yeah.
And then what they do is they take one strand of that blending filament, and they'll take 4 of them and braid them.
Yeah.
8 of them and braid them.
Yeah.
12 of them and braid them. 16
Wow.
and braid them.
And up
24 and braid them.
Yeah.
30
Oh,
braid them.
wow.
So they make different thicknesses,
Whoa.
which are again not separable. But the more strands you have in there, the more ply you have, the more color you can get. So
Oh,
the
wow.
basic colors are numbers 1 through 100. But then you get colors like 642, which might be a mix of color 6 and number 42. I'm not sure, but I mean, I'm just giving that
Yeah,
as an
and as
example.
an example.
Okay, or you'll get 6042, which could
Whoa.
be 6 and 142. So you get colors in the thicker threads that have more color in them. But those are just the ones that are made by the original manufacturer. These people are taking just the plain number 4
Yeah.
and dyeing it themselves, or just the plain number 8 and braiding it and
Wow.
dyeing it themselves.
That there's a lot to it. That is super
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I'm real curious about these because these are not like the metallics that I grew up with to do crafts and stuff. This is like fine fiber. That's really something different, isn't it?
Here's one where Karen has done a little bit of just punch needle.
Punch needle.
Oh my
using
gosh.
some metallics.
Oh
She's
my.
just experimenting.
That's the one in the metallics.
That's what
Yeah.
that's. a
Oh,
forward
Karen, that
braid,
looks
yeah.
amazing.
And this is one of those very. So I had the shading. I mean, it's
See,
just
the leaf is
the leaf is
the
just
autumn
itself,
leaf.
other than the vines.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other
The-
part was
the
just.
stem,
I'm going to
yeah.
turn it over. Sorry, I'm going to look at my back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not
that's
Very
how
good work.
That's where I punch.
Very good work.
Yeah. So
Are
I
you
just
using
worked-
the Ultra Punch?
I used to use the CTR, but
Yeah.
so I have some that were 1s, 3s, and
Yep.
6s. Yes, this was some 6. I'm using a pearl cotton.
And that's into weaver's cloth.
That's into weaver's cloth.
Yeah. Okay, well that's good information because the answer to can you use the metallics
You
is
can
a
use,
yes.
yeah, you can. I just didn't do much.
You
I
just
was
have to
playing
make
with
sure
it.
that the metallic, the
Thread
weight of the
goes with it.
metallic and the weight of and the size of the needle are
Works,
comparable.
Yeah.
And the thread, and the fabric, you don't want to
Yeah.
kill your fabric.
Right. Yeah, because I imagine the snag factor is higher with the metallics.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But then when you have that in mind, right, if you're struggling a little
Sure,
bit, you
sure.
know that maybe it's a needle thing, maybe you need to go up a size of your needle.
Yeah.
Or you need
Or-
to
or
go
you d-
down. Or go
Yeah.
down.
Lower
Or
ply
down,
for, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All problems are easy to fix, right? There's
Oh,
only
yes.
so many
And,
things.
and most projects, at least that we do, you have a margin.
Yeah.
You play in the margin.
Yeah.
Just as Karen was doing
This was
on
just
that
my doodle
particular-
cloth.
I love your doodle cloth.
That was my thing, yeah. I have a couple of finished things, but not much. I didn't do much. I can teach it if I need to.
Everyone is going, I've got a doodle cloth.
Okay. All right. Just like
And if you don't, you should.
What was the name of the overdyed threads that were
those
over
are-
here?
Those are
These
my
are
threadworks.
threadworks.
Yes,
Threadworks.
Threadworks
and metallics.
is interesting and it's threadworks with a K, excuse me,
Okay.
an X at the end.
With an X, okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure that.
It's
we
a-
ha-
yeah, that's
we're
probably
our
a-
label is probably covering up all
Let me
of them.
see.
Yeah.
Threadworks, but with an X at the end. See there, that's the end of it. Or
W-O-R.
X. Yeah, these are crazy
W-O-R-X.
colors. Like,
With a capital X.
okay,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, there's some
And
beautiful.
those tend to- and that was
Yeah.
probably
Look at
one
this
of the
for
first
summer.
over dyes on the.
And
might
these
be
are,
where
this is
we
not
are.
the full range either. We can't stock everything.
And you can see.
I
the
mean,
Seriously.
yes,
multiple
General
colors
art,
on
we're
a
talking
hook.
about, the sampler threads we do. These colors, no.
You can see we have
Weeks
multiple
dye works, not
colors on a hook.
necessarily.
Yeah.
No.
It's
We
like a
just-
Russian
way
nesting
too many
doll, right?
colors.
There's like
Yeah.
one with it. So I want to remind you that we are at Thistle Needleworks on the Silestine Highway in Weathersfield, Connecticut. Right. As a reminder for people who are tuning in later. So I'm coming over here. This is silk. Does that say silk? Spun?
Spun silk,
Spun
yeah.
silk.
Oh, this is
There's
spun
a mix.
silk.
some
There's a mix.
mixes.
Gosh, look at these little pastel guys here. Right, so more of, all this stuff is on rings, and the other day when I bought a bunch, I just took the ring and I pulled off the ones I wanted. These feel different. Is this, what's
Those are
this?
silk pearl.
Okay.
Those are silk
God,
pearl.
those are so elegant. Look at these colors.
Yeah.
And
The
again,
silk
you've got
just takes
the,
the color beautifully.
oh, it does, doesn't
Takes the
it?
dyes beautifully. Unfortunately, it has a tendency to release the dyes. So silks, for the most part, cannot be laundered.
Right, but for projects like this, great, eternal, right?
Right.
And then these look more sort of, not
Those are
raw,
stranded
but,
silks.
oh, wow. And again, the color is unreal.
Those are
These
made
are
by the company.
Bella
They're
Soie?
made by Bella Soie, made by Classic Color Works.
Okay, made by Classic Color Works. So that's
Color different. different color range, different color numbers, different color names, but
This is probably an awful thing to say, but it is remarkable how much richer and finer these look than like DMC floss. Is that
because
like a
it's
fair?
the overdying process
Okay.
probably adds some sheen. to
They
it.
just look so sleek and
It also may
color
be the
wise.
way that we're, yeah, well, they're
Displaying them.
tweaking the colors, and it may
Yeah.
also be the fact that we're twisting them up and you're.
They're
seeing
just
them
such.
more tightly.
You're right. You've got high shine and so pretty. Now this is very different. The straw
That's
silk.
straw silk. That is silk, and what that is, if you were to take one strand, what it is multiple strands of thread of silk, which are laid next to each other and basically glued,
Whoa.
so that you're forming a, you know, a ribbon.
Gosh, it almost
But-
feels like bamboo.
It does, which is why they're calling it straw
Straw.
silk.
Okay, got it.
It's
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
that straw
got it.
effect, and of course they get a little kinky, so you have to sort of,
Yeah.
so you take your nail and strip them down.
That is very cool. See,
But
that's something
they-
you could hook
again,
with.
probably. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you wouldn't want
It
to
only
hook a whole
comes in one
piece.
width, but yes.
Okay. But look
You
at these
have to make sure we
colors.
show you the silk ribbons.
The color saturation is absolutely incredible. And you know, for texture, particularly going into summer, thinking about things that are seaweed, mermaid's tails, this would be such a great, fun, fancy fiber to include in a hooked piece.
Wouldn't this make marvelous wheat?
Oh, that would make amazing wheat. That's so Van Gogh right here.
Yep.
Right? Look at that. I mean, some of them are, they're just very subdued, and then you've got these screaming neon ones, right, that are super tropical looking, and some that look like they're mixed colors again, right? They have a real glow to
Again,
them.
they're all hand-dyed, yeah.
All hand dyed. Just lovely. Now I just got one of these, right? I just got this pink one. This is just another. You have lots of fun fibers just around.
Don't
like
get too excited about those.
no, I won't. But there's lots of I mean, when you come in person, right? It's a real privilege because you can really shop and find bits and pieces of different things because there's more than I'm able to show you, obviously. Silk and colors.
Silk and colors,
Silk
again,
and-
it's an
and-
overdyed silk.
Yeah.
So it's similar to the classic color works, you know, all of these others, but it's now silk that's been overdyed.
Huh. Absolutely beautiful. The colors are what really get me. So this whole wall is devoted to really what look like very high-end fibers and small quantities, which is great for
Well, for
needlework.
needlework.
Yeah. But if you're just doing a small part of your rug project or your punch project, this is so perfect for you, right? Because we're so in the habit of buying like, you know, X amount of a
Thanks.
certain, yeah, and it's like $40 a skein, right? I mean, it's absolutely silly.
Now you're into silks.
Okay, so these are silks, the
Right.
Splendor.
So the Splendor, actually, as you work down the wall, the Splendor is a 12-strand floss, you know,
Yep.
and then you work into, there's grandeur and elegance and subtlety, which are the different pearl weights.
Okay. So here's the grandeur, and elegance is the finest.
Subtlety is the finest.
Subtlety is the finest. It's so fine I can't see it.
Oh, well, it's
That's
maybe
because they're not
because it's,
making it anymore.
I'm not sure whether it's
Oh.
just some colors or none of it. Yeah.
They're not making
Gosh,
it.
I mean, the colors are just, yeah.
And again, you get the very high sheen of the silk.
It is. It's very lustrous and light. It really, for something so fine, it really catches the light. Are you getting some examples that
I'm
they've got?
getting some of them, yeah.
They're so pretty. Now, if people are thinking, oh, I love a certain needlepoint designer, needlework designer, they can maybe write and say, listen, I've been looking for this pattern and I haven't been able to find it. What have you got, kind of thing? That would be a good
Definitely.
email project, right?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. Now, if we have another wall of threads, if you'd like to take a look
Let's
at
do
them.
that while it makes sense. Yeah.
And then racks.
And then racks.
Racks
right,
and
across.
bins.
Drawers and drawers.
Yeah.
So right there on your left are what's called silk and ivory. And it's a 50 silk, 50 wool blend.
Wow.
And it
And-
works beautifully on 13 mesh canvas. Again, it's a little bit thicker thread.
It is thicker.
It's
This
yeah.
is called, so what's the yardage on this?
28, 29 yards.
Yeah.
Wow.
28.5.
That's a lot.
28.7
This one's called Frog Legs. See, this is just fantastic because this is like $6.25. And you get that, I mean, that's a lot of one color. This is really something to think about, right? This really is something. And then these
The
are,
next one over are, those are cottons from the Karen collection, which is here in Connecticut.
huh,
And the watercolors are a 3-strand. You can separate these out, and each one of those strands is a pearl 5, which is some of what you've been looking over there. So you can use it 1, 2, or 3 strand.
God,
And those are
gorgeous.
all hand dyed. And these are sort of fun
gorgeous.
because they all have a code number. And this code number, for instance, is number 148. Is that anyway?
Yeah.
But then it's CS means that CS dyed it. Here's the color number, and it was dyed on October 3rd.
Really?
Wow.
It's so specific. Because it's like that, if you want the
You
exact.
gotta learn the inside dope.
Oh my God, there's a language to it.
That one, yeah, that means that particular skein is a year old, but obviously we turn them
Aw.
over a lot quicker. But this one's number 145, 827, which means it was dyed.
And I imagine some people who ran out of something are looking for like the exact same dye batch.
Yes, which is why it's just like knitting and any other
Yeah,
thing. You want to
it's
make
very
sure that you buy
serious.
enough up front.
Yeah.
Of course, it also means you have lots of stash that you
Which
use
is such a good problem,
for all
right?
your little stuff. Oh yes.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this all the time.
She
in
who
rug baking.
dies with the most stash wins.
That's right. That's right. You
Or
are
her-
being an
or-
enabler right now.
I know. I know. Okay. Now
Oh,
those.
these are beautiful too. These are wool for sure, right?
Yes.
Gosh, those are really pretty. I didn't see these the other day. I'm gonna have to look at these because these are great colors too. Evening haze.
That's from. It's the company is Vineyard Silks, but those are hand dyed wool threads, merino wools.
These are beautiful.
The next group is also from the Karen collection, and that's Impressions, which is a 50 silk, 50 wool, just like the silk and ivory. However, you can see it's much finer.
Oh. Sorry.
That's fine. So it's a much finer thread.
It is.
So they have
Yeah.
they have the solid colors from the bottom, the top row, they're hand
Top
dyed.
rows are all the
But
hand
they're
dyed ones.
solid down below and variegated up here.
Whereas these are all hand dyed.
Now, Karen, do you enjoy doing the punch with all these materials?
I haven't done it in a while. I mean, I
Yeah.
did the touch, but yeah, I have wanted to test a few, so I did.
Yeah.
I just don't have
I
do a
know,
lot.
time is a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, that's. so
But it
I
seems
got
like it's a
yeah.
match made in heaven.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I enjoy testing out, like using the variegated threads.
Yeah.
And seeing how that works.
Yeah.
So
Now
you
this
have to
particular
manipulate it.
company, we're going
We
to
have
come back
doors.
to them.
We're gonna
Yeah.
come back to them?
Yeah.
because we're going to talk about other
This
ways.
is catching my eye a little. See, when you're here, you can shop for little stuff like this, bits and
Those are all
pieces, right?
dyed metallics.
And those are the
From the
those are the
company.
old.
This is
the
the
new
old.
is Threadworks. The old is Neil
Oh.
Those are closed out. Those are just what we have
Oh.
left. That's it.
Oh, wow, that's the end of the line.
Theoretically,
Yeah.
the Threadworks is now also
It's
making all these same
comparable,
colors.
but
See, it's so fun to get stuff that is the end of the line. That's, I live in scarcity mode, right? So I have to get the tail end of everything just to shore it up. Now, what did you want to look at next? Does
Let's
something
keep
make
going
sense?
down this
Yep.
aisle. Okay.
All right.
So we
You
talked
want me to
about
stay over
the-
here?
Yeah, whatever, go ahead.
Okay.
I just wanted to get ahead of you a little bit, so.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is a metallic from these
Yeah.
folks again, and a variety of colors. But the next one here is one we're very, very fond of, which is Gumnut Yarns. That happens to be their Blossoms line.
Gum
They-
nut yarns.
They come from Australia, so you can guess from. If you remember, Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree when you went to camp as a kid.
I don't. Is it a song?
It was, oh yeah.
You gonna sing it?
No.
Oh.
Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree, eating all the gum nuts he can see. Laugh, Kookaburra, laugh, Kookaburra. Gay your life must be, ha ha. Anyway,
I'm a shamed Girl Scout for not knowing that, right?
yes, right. Okay. Anyway, those are gum nut yarns, and again, they come in a wide variety of colors, and they come in color families, so that it's a 100% wool, a fine wool, and there are 5 shades in each family, so you'll get, from light to dark, and they are all hand dyed.
Oh, God. Is this the full line?
Of
Yes.
the blossoms, yes.
Of the blossoms, yes.
Okay.
Now,
So-
what you
They have
do
other
is you
lines.
take just some of the blossoms, and they dye
Around the
20 around the corner here. We have daisies. And it is daisies. No, there we go.
More gum nut.
Daisies, which more
A
gum nut,
finer,
a
thinner
finer
white.
wool.
Oh, you're kidding.
Finer wool.
Oh, you're
So, yeah.
kidding.
Mhm.
My God, look at these colors.
Again, it's not all of the colors, but a selection of 200.
Seems like a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
200 some odd,
There's
yeah.
something like 25.
So these are all
colors.
daisies.
Okay.
Daisies.
And then they come into
Still gum
buds and
nut.
stars, which are fine silks. Fine silk. It's like a 6-ply gloss silk.
Yeah.
And then a thicker, more like,
Like
a
a
6.5
pearl.
pearl weight silk.
Yeah.
Same color range as the daisies.
I'm not sure I'm going to do rug hooking anymore.
And then we come over to poppies, which is a silk wool blend similar to the impressions from Karen Collection, but they're over dyed.
They're hand dyed.
Hand dyed with the same. Sorry,
So
with
they
the
have
same
some
color,
Softly
same
shaded.
shaft and color, the same color.
A little bit
ranges.
mottled.
Yeah, a little bit
Softly
softly
shaded.
shaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
they
the same color range as the daisies, stars, and buds. So they all work
And
together.
it's all gum nut. So they
No,
all work.
I'm not the
They're
brand.
all
yes.
coming from
The brand,
Australia.
Yep. Dyed
These
in
are absolute. I have to say, I like everything I've seen, but I
They're all
love
coming from
this.
Bathurst.
Coming from what?
Bathurst
town.
Bathurst. It's a town.
town. In,
Well, we have a bunch
New
of
South
yours
Wales.
from Australia. They're probably giving a shout out right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, okay.
There's a
For
few
instance,
people that
here are the
remembered that
poppies.
song
For an
too.
example.
Oh, some people remembered the song.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
Judy, they appreciated that.
See, for instance, this is the darkest one, which we can't really call black. We call it
Nearly
nearly black.
Yeah.
In
Because
rug
it-
hooking, we say antique black.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, there is some shared language, and then I saw something magic happen
That
here.
was just
Wow, look at these little guys.
Yep.
Oriental linen. These are linen.
Yep,
Look at the
coming
color
thread
change
gather.
in there. Look at this one.
And those are thread works. We looked at
No,
the
these are
cotton.
needed thread gatherer.
Thread gatherer. I'm
Which
sorry.
we had
yes.
Wow.
Too many threads.
too many different types of threads.
Those are
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're almost a bit tweedy, aren't they? A little
Yeah,
bit of a
very
Donegal
good.
feel.
Yep.
Very have a lot of texture to them. So
Yes.
for your punch needle, they might be a problem.
Yes, they
Available.
might snag.
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
Unless you're using a punch needle that's much larger, right?
What's the name of? What's your website? Because there's a few people asking.
Sure. Their website is apneedlearts.com.
Okay. And what store are we at again?
Thistle Needleworks.
Yep. Thistle Needleworks in Weathersfield, Connecticut.
Yep.
So our online presence is the letter A, the letter P,
Okay.
Needle
Arts.
Needle
Good.
Arts.
And what about the email?
The email is this needle THISNEEDLE at AOL.com.
Okay. And we're talking to Karen and Judy, right? So if somebody returns your message, right, you've seen
Oh,
you've
yeah,
seen these faces, so you know you're
I'm
speaking
usually
to a
the one
person.
that's
Yep.
dealing with the
Between- yeah.
emails.
Yeah.
Judy or Karen and Judy.
And very
Okay.
you can handle very specific inquiries, I'm sure.
We can, and we often have people, of course, as we noted before, who are looking for a specific dye lot, which I'm not
always
sure
have.
we can
Yeah.
do. But we also have people who say, well, you know, I really like working with a particular fiber, a particular type of thread, but my pattern calls for something else. Can you match it?
Yes.
And we can give them an idea of
Yeah.
what we find to be the closest match. Because we have so many, we can take a skein of this and try and find
Yeah.
a similar color in a skein of something else. So if somebody wants to switch from silk to cotton or from cotton to rayon, we can do
I
that.
mean, that is such an amazing service to be able to provide, because that's
We
a
try.
conversation. If you don't have a needlepoint store near you, how do you figure this stuff out?
A lot of people stitch online. I mean, there are those people who live on a farm in Kansas and
Yeah.
they stitch every evening after the chores are done. But they don't, their store is
They've got,
online.
and I'm sure they've got these same struggles, and they're just, they figured out how to articulate what they need, I guess, because it's,
Yeah. Well, one of the phrases is it's not your grandmother's needlepoint anymore. It's, you know, my mother, I mean, you know, we all started learning with just wool,
yeah.
solid color wool, you know, the pattern Ann, which is over there.
So what did
But-
your mom use?
My mother didn't.
No.
My mother was just not, she would ask me to make things for her, which I did, but yeah, no, she taught me very young. I mean, you know, stamped cross stitch,
Yep.
you know,
And
towels
stamped,
for my grandmother and
was it like
poster covers and things.
the commercial, like, was it like
Oh,
on
yeah.
Lydia
Oh,
Day,
yeah.
like that
Exactly.
kind of thing? Okay.
Yes, yeah. Went to
Yeah.
the local Fine Dime and
Yeah.
bought something, either a iron-on pattern and ironed it onto a towel or something
Yeah.
like that.
So
Yeah.
stamped pattern for us is a commercial pattern, right? It's been made by someone else, not an original pattern.
Right.
And they would have those at the local store.
Right.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
there used to be like Ben Franklin and stuff like
yeah.
that, right? And they
Yeah.
would have an aisle of that kind of thing.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was too young. I just
Yeah.
was told here do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. We talked about the different
Yes.
range in the gumnut yarns,
Yep.
which is of course one of our favorites. But let's go over an aisle and we talked about the watercolors
Yep.
and the impressions.
Yep. Let me get out of the way.
So what we have over here are water lilies.
Oh, water lilies.
So this is a silk, again in many of the same colors as the
Oh my God.
watercolors, but it's a stranded silk, a 12 strands
God, the name on the names are so
Oh,
beautiful.
they give us
right?
fun names, sure, like cucumber, burnished coin,
Mm-hmm.
Sahara, Saint-Tropez, cilantro, Bordeaux.
They're
et cetera.
so
Right.
so expressive, right?
Sure, they are indeed.
God, we were talking about the other day how some colors like make you think of a flavor or a smell.
Oh, yeah. Well,
right?
sometimes the other way around. You
Exactly.
have Bordeaux. That's some Bordeaux. But here we have Soie Cristal. So instead of crystal, it's called
Oh,
Soie
okay.
Cristal.
Soie
This is
silk.
the base solid color
Yep.
for the water lilies.
Okay.
So they're the solid colors that are then, I can't say they line up, but you know,
Oh,
it's
wow.
the solid colors
Versus
that are
the variegated.
the overdyed
Yeah.
and variegated, right? Yeah, yeah. Then we can go around the corner again.
Wait, there's more.
Oh, there's a lot.
There's always more. But over here we have wildflowers, and these are the watercolors in a cotton.
Gosh, those are so fine. They're crisp.
Yeah. So these are again the equivalent of about 2 strands of floss, 2 to 3 strands.
Those are
the
beautiful.
floss.
Though I'm not.
And
I'm
those
not.
are the wildflowers.
Those
But-
remind
so-
me of the Valdami
Yes.
a little
Yeah.
bit for punching.
Right. Yeah.
Punching, yeah.
So you can see some of them are more variegated than others. Some are multicolored. And
Oh
so forth.
wow.
So you get wildflowers, you get Soie Cristal, you know, so our friends down at the Karen collection have a wide variety of threads.
And they are in Connecticut.
They're in Connecticut, they're down in
Stratford.
Stanford, somewhere down in Fairfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, it's.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
That is really. That
Yes.
really is the tip of the iceberg.
Of course, all DMCs, yeah.
There's a lot of
DMCs
fiber
and
here.
some of the other
Yeah,
fibers.
12.
And then fun stuff like this, right? That you can actually make something like a bookmark or a glasses pouch or something like that. Besides the traditional, you can make something to fill a book, right? An inset. It's so much fun. And you've got all of the needle knowledge too.
Yes, those are all the all beading thread, and then those are the sharp needles, and then the tapestry needles or the blunt needles are on another rack.
Okay. What about these guys? What's this for?
And so those can be used as a laying tool, but mostly people use those for huck weaving.
Okay. Huckweed, like the Swedish weaving.
weaving,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Interesting. Those are beautiful. And then in the middle, you've got these racks with different kinds of, lots of different brands, right?
Yeah.
These are all
Well,
spools of
mostly
metallic.
These are all metallic.
Mostly Kreiner
These are all
and
metallics.
rainbow gowns.
Not all, and then
Mostly
the other
Kreiner
ones that we
rainbow
looked at
gowns.
earlier, the
Yep.
A variety of
and
others.
the
And then this brand, I mean, this must be one company that's packaging all of these different fibers.
exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can tell because their cards are the
Rainbow
same
color,
every
yeah.
time.
Yep.
It makes for great uniformity. I mean, you know what you're seeing.
Right.
These are like, they look like they have some almost
They're
angora.
They're a mohair nylon blend.
Okay, and these look really
Alpaca
woolly
are probably 100%. It's going to tell you right on there.
Right
These
on
people
there.
are very good.
with content.
Fine alpaca, and how many
the fiber-
yardages.
And that's a goodly amount
And then they
too.
also tell you up at the top, you know, how many strands to use on
Yeah.
different gauges of canvas if you're doing canvas.
Okay,
across
because
it,
it's
yeah.
like scalable.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. And then the stuff down here is like the eyelash, right? Lots of
Yep.
different kinds of eyelash. More metallic. This is highlights. God, they do a lot of lines.
Oh, they have
Fancy fur.
close to 50.
They're all different here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Fuzzy stuff. Wow. It's kind of endless. Arctic rays. Fireworks. Look at this one. That is crazy.
Fireworks, if you want to do it in German.
Fireworks.
It's a ribbon. It's a flat ribbon.
It is a flat ribbon, isn't it? I mean, we could hook with that easily. That is really, imagine
an eighth of
Christmas
an inch
projects, an eighth of an inch wide. And there's some nice antique colors, and there's some really wild, bright metallics, some neon metallics. And then this is much finer, but still metallic, water and ice, super suede, right? That's what some people use for like little belts and stuff. Oh, look at the rainbow tweed. How pretty that is.
Rainbow
Wow.
tweed's been discontinued. Don't fall in love
Okay.
with that one.
Uh-oh. Or I could just gobble it all up, right? New old, or old, the end of the line stock. Overture,
There's Overture.
Encore.
Overture. It goes in order. Bravo and Encore.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is much finer.
Range, but they are different weights.
How do people choose? I mean, this is just crazy. And look at this thin velvet. How
There's
cute
petite
is
berry
that?
velvet and then there's berry velvet. Those are marvelous for
Wow. Look at how fine. This looks like, they look like they might be different amounts, right? This is a smaller amount than that. You just need a little bit, maybe.
No, it's just the
Oh, is it just the way that it
8
looks?
yards.
It's just because it's shaded.
Yeah.
And the petite very velvet, again, it's gonna tell you on there how many yardage, but there's the very velvet and the petite very velvet.
Look
two
how rich the
thicknesses.
colors are. I mean, that's so intense, isn't it? Really pretty. So all these are here. Neon rays. Okay, we were talking about
Oh,
these
I've
earlier.
been corrected. The rainbow tweed is not all discontinued, just some colors.
Oh, okay,
Just with
great.
anything
Continue.
else, yeah.
Right.
That's, I mean, because you
There are
have a
different-
lot of it.
There are different, yes.
And you've got all the beads and stuff too, if people want to apply beads, right? That's, yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Endless.
They are, yeah.
Bugle beads, seed beads,
I
right?
can't say we have all the beads, but we certainly have.
Yeah.
I think you have
Variety.
plenty
Yeah,
of beads.
We've got a lot of choices for
Unfortunately, I guess we've
everything.
sold a lot of them in the last week or two.
Well, that's a good
'Cause we have
problem,
empty
right?
hooks.
Now, I'm gonna come around here. You can, take your time, Jay. And, all right, so, do you want, should we finish the wool wall?
Persian?
Oh my gosh, okay, so this is Persian. Now, I do recognize this kind of stuff. This is like what I would expect to find in like a needlepoint kit or something, right? Like an
Yeah,
Erica
those are
Wilson,
yes.
Elsa Williams
Yeah.
kind of thing?
Right, yes.
Yep.
And they, that company has, a lot of people know it as Pattern Ann, but that was the, I'm gonna say the original company,
Okay.
which
So it
comes.
comes,
Oh, okay.
And so what we now carry is Colonial, which is the same color range.
Oh,
we just
wow.
break that up, yep.
and then we just
100%.
break it
And you do
open.
it by the yard or by the piece?
We sell it by the 4 ounce, which you have in your hands,
Okay,
a half a hank, which would be 2 ounces.
okay.
1 ounce,
Yeah.
which is obviously a quarter of a hank.
Yeah.
Online, we sell it for, with a half ounce,
Okay,
but in the store, we then sell it by the strand.
okay. Yeah, this, I mean, we've used this before for rug hooking. I know I have, and
Oh,
I bet
yes.
you have. This is
Yeah.
very good for that.
And weavers like it also.
And weavers like it, okay.
And obviously, when we're selling to a weaver, we have to sell full hanks because when we cut it into 2 ounce,
The threads are cut.
we're cutting. Yeah.
Yeah, they need a good long,
Yeah.
they need like a rope walk to get that going.
That's the Appleton, which is made in England, and they have the same color range, and you can see how many there are. And they have the same color range in both a crewel wool and a tapestry wool. And
Which one
those
is thicker?
Oh,
The tapestry wool is a round, twisted
Okay,
thread.
okay.
And the crewel wool is a fine thread.
Okay.
I'm not sure we have any right out right now. We have just so much room, so those are kept in boxes.
This is a giant space, right? This store is a giant store. This is a
Yeah,
destination.
it's about,
100 square feet.
yeah, but it's smaller than our last store.
Okay.
We downsized.
And you have a lot
8
in
years
the
ago.
back too.
We
I mean,
still
you
have-
stuff
We
in the
do
back.
have, we do have a stock room in the back where we
Yeah.
keep things.
So it's worth asking for anything.
Yeah.
And the backing fabrics, I mean, this is a,
These
This
are all
is-
cross-stitch, these are
cross-stitch.
cross-stitch
cross-stitch
fabrics. These are
backings.
canvas.
So, okay, so these are canvases, so these are cloth backings.
No, well,
Those are
we don't say fat.
You don't say
Cross
backing.
stitch, cross stitch fabric.
Yeah.
Used for cross stitch,
fabric.
yes.
In
It's
different
accountable,
colors.
different colors, different gauges, yeah.
And you sell the weaver's cloth?
I don't have any right, yeah. We have crewel linens
Yeah.
and other linens. And
Yeah.
what you purchased the other day was a crewel linen.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, which was
Yeah.
for crewel embroidery, but you could use it for.
Punch?
Right.
Yeah, you can use it for
That's fine
punch.
enough,
Okay,
if it works.
I think you're running out of time.
No, I meant let me get behind you.
all right. You want to get behind me?
I was trying to
Sorry.
shoot that
I'm
way,
sorry.
yeah.
Okay.
The light is coming in that side.
All right, so I'm just walking through backings here, and then I'm gonna come back around here, right? Because these are a lot of backings, but these really are, these don't cross over to rug hooking. They will do, like Karen was just saying, which backing was it that would do punch?
You might be able to get away with some crewel embroidery. It
Okay.
depends on what you need to
And,
texture.
yeah, and you have like muslin
Something
and,
tightly woven.
We
really
don't sell muslin.
We
Okay.
use the
Yeah.
big box stores.
and you've got small quantities too, because I got a small quantity, right? You've got small quantities if someone's just looking, again, it's not a good rug backing.
Yeah, for the punch needle, yes.
Yeah, and then you've got, how are the patterns organized? By,
Mostly
Company?
yes, the designer.
all right. Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible, vast amount of choices. So I'm kind of skipping over patterns, and I don't mean to because they're super interesting.
But they're not for your people.
They're not exact, but
Unless
I
it's
bet a lot of our people do hold needles often. So, I mean, I've never heard of these brands. Anna Lee Wade, is that like an Anna Lee doll? No. Tons. But what I did see over here, Judy, that was interesting. I have to come down here.
Those are all our crew kits, or, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was looking at this stuff because there's these are cruel kits down here, right? And some of these are packaged like this, right?
That's
and-
kits, yep.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go through all of these because these look absolutely beautiful. And then I picked one of these up earlier, right? And was saying, what's this all about? And these binders refer to possibly, well, these are cross stitch binders, right? Where you can maybe get the pattern. And
Well,
some
those are
of them,
patterns for sale, yep.
okay, and like hex signs of Pennsylvania. Right, that's something we talk about often. Scottish clan badges. This is so crazy. It's such specific stuff. Celtic knots. We just had a class in that.
Could have been that one that you
Cool.
were looking.
I think it was this one.
Those are different transfers, in which, of course, so you can possibly pick one there. And so then these are transfers, like you can use for clothes, yeah.
And
Or-
those are iron-on transfers? Or chalk or stencil?
Yeah, some of these, like, at one time, iron on, or you can just transfer, using it as transfer board.
Yep.
But yes, you can
Yep,
use this
so many
too.
these are crazy. So these correspond to these books?
And some of them do, yes.
Oh,
So, yeah,
my
you just
God.
find, like, yeah, 672, you just have to find,
Oh.
it used to be alphabetical, or numerical, but.
And then at
I'm
the back
sure,
is
yeah.
Jacobian patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a bunch of these. Look at this
Yeah.
bug sampler. How cute is that?
If we still have it type of thing, yeah, we were trying to.
I was just flipping through this earlier, and there were a bunch of. I mean, these are like for as rug hookers to switch to rug hooking languages, like a lot of Pearl McGowan, the Jacobian crewel type design that she did right in the 60s and 70s. But yet,
Bug one.
oh, there's the bug. Oh my gosh, I want to get that. Now,
Sorry.
does that seem like an iron-on?
Yeah, I do believe it feels like an iron-on.
And you can
she
take the
versus it.
motifs and position them however you
And-
want.
and cut it up or take off. This looks like it was.
That is so cool. And you could probably do that with punch too, right? You could put it on punch backing and
Yes,
yeah.
exactly, yep. Mm-hmm.
How brilliant is that? Talk about like a workaround, getting like this kind of design, right? Like an embroidery design and just transferring it iron on into your punch backing. I shouldn't say that. That goes against my business model, right? Where I sell punch patterns.
Or you sell some
Yeah,
of them.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
But remember, you can also use a coloring book.
That yeah. Yeah. There's so many. I got to go through this later when I'm not on camera because there's a bunch that I want in here. But this is just fun. I'm gonna have to spend some time going through these boxes. What could this be? What is this?
It's a kit.
Oh.
It's a cross-stitch kit. And it
Oh,
happens
how
to be the
fun.
pattern is- here's
Oh
the
yeah,
pattern.
barbecue sauce.
So the fabric and threads are in there.
Oh
and
my
it just
gosh, look at that.
Clever packaging.
How funny is that? It's like a little preserves jar. This is caramel sauce. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you're anywhere near here, you really have to come. Little handbag mirror that you can needlepoint the back of. Tons of canvases up here. Right, what else am I missing? I just bought, I'm getting one of these patterns, right? I love the Jennifer Pudney pattern. There's just, when you walk around, you see things that you
She's
like.
from
that-
New Zealand.
I saw that, and there's the two of them, and I got so into her on the computer. But it's great to find the person because the shipping's like $30 if you order this from
Probably,
her, because it comes from so far away. So it's definitely worth asking about these, you know, paint. Oh my God, look at that! Looks like an Alphonse Mucha. So beautiful, all these hand painted canvases. It's just it's absolutely gorgeous. I think I'm going to change crafts, not completely, but
I
it'd
have
be
a
fun to
question
do
for
something.
you. May I show you something?
Yeah. Oh my
This was in my
word.
dollhouse when I was a kid.
This was in your dollhouse.
Is that book?
Let me look at the back. I think that's sewn.
Okay. That's the back
It's
of it.
on burlap, right? It's a little antique hooked rug, but I think that it's sewn.
Okay. Well, I thought it was sort of cute.
It's
so I came up
absolutely
with a
precious.
version of it in needlepoint.
Oh my gosh, you did! It's like a little replica. We
And
saw.
I did this with, and remember we talked about Teresa Lehman's knot hook.
Yes.
Knot work.
Is that not?
These are all French knots
Oh my
on a
gosh.
10 mesh canvas.
Oh my gosh.
So I pretty much tried to replicate that. And then it was popular because I taught it, so I came up with another design.
Oh, the barn with the flag. That is such an eternal,
Classic.
beloved. Yeah, these are absolutely beautiful. Are you what are you teaching now that COVID is over?
Pretty much I have open classrooms.
Okay.
So 99% of the people who come are doing needlepoint.
Yep.
But some of them are doing hot under,
Yeah.
some of them are doing some crewel, but mostly they're doing needlepoint.
That is so cute. This looks to me like, you know, the technique where you would pull up a loop and you would put like a little tool under it for rug hookers. It would look like a chopstick, like,
Okay.
you know,
Yep.
150 years
to
ago.
keep the loops all the same size.
To keep them even. Yeah, and we kind of stopped
Well, somebody
carrying.
made that. I know it wasn't my mother because she wasn't into that kind of thing.
It's
so she must
super
have found
pretty.
it at a.
These were sold a
craft
lot
store
as
or something.
souvenir things too, and a lot of these came out of Canada, like the Chetty Camp area, right? They would typically have a Chetty Camp label on the back, but they would clearly be hooked, and it just looks a little bit different on the back, doesn't it, when something is hooked as opposed to sewn? Because I've fallen for that a few times.
But anyway, that was my version of it.
I
My
love
version
your
of the doll.
version.
That's cute.
Look at that, great. That's a great evolution, right?
Yeah.
So you did a copy of it, and then you went out on a limb and did a completely different. Because what's better than like an old barn motif, right? There's really nothing better than that. Beautiful example.
We should probably show you the Teresa. Do you want to grab the basket of Teresa's?
Yeah, let me see the back. Let me see her knot work. So there's another artist who's in Connecticut, right? She's in Connecticut. Teresa in Warren, Connecticut. Teresa Lyman, Layman, Layman. Yeah, and she does. It was kind of like what you just saw that Judy did. Knots, right? Filling a canvas with knots, and these are the little patterns for that. So what it is a backing, and then it must tell you what colors you need to make this design, right?
It does. There's your list of threads.
Yeah, and there's tons of different designs, and they have super funny.
This is a model.
Oh my God! So this is one of the knotwork projects, right?
Somebody
is-
started and said it's not for me, and brought it back and said, "Here, can you use it?" So we've used it for samples. We've done a lot of. It's become a doodle cloth.
A doodle cloth. No, and it has the printed back, right, with a design, and then you're literally doing French knot,
Mostly French knots, but
colo-
also
colonial,
knots.
yeah. And you're filling it in with knots.
Knots, yeah.
So it's a
So the
very
whole
small
thing
scale
is filled in.
project,
Yeah.
but incredibly fine.
That's the one with the
Because these
sheep
are the
in the
finished
meadow, right?
bits. Yeah, sheep in the meadow.
You may not have that.
I mean, isn't that gorgeous? And Judy, you were showing me the other day all the funny elf ones that she did that had the funny names.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Coco Chanel.
Coco
Candy maker.
Chanel.
She sort of expanded out. She
Candy
did a series
maker.
of eggs,
Yep, like the
and then
the Ukrainian type egg thing.
Yep.
The elves. Yeah, lots of different subjects. Absurd bird, right? There's a bird on the kitty's head.
Yeah.
3 crows. I mean, these are beautiful. I love this one. Kitty
Here's
corners,
one
right?
very
With the
traditional.
yeah, this one is traditional. The old mill. It comes out tiny, as you can see. It comes out tiny, but you're just making a knot.
Yeah.
And you know,
And again, her idea, her concept is because she's really a miniaturist.
Sorry,
is
I
to
got a
make
very
miniature
thick
rugs.
thread
she
here.
does dollhouse stuff, right?
She does
On like a
dollhouse
national
rugs.
level. She goes to shows and stuff and shows all her dollhouse stuff. But this is an amazing line. There are
Big knot.
oh, there's so much fun.
I just one big knot.
Yeah.
This is a big thread, a thick thread.
I love it. It's something different. It's something small. It's something you can take on your lap. You know, if you're traveling.
Here's a finished one.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Finished one, yeah.
Look how fine that is. That's a bunch. Do you think that's thousands of knots?
That's a lot of knots.
It's a lot of knots. And then this funny thing you showed me, Judy, right?
Yeah.
I'm not happy. It's not fun. I'm not crazy. I'm not interested. The list goes on.
Yeah.
The people who do it are known as naughty girls.
Naughty girls.
That's another good section of the website. Yeah.
That's so cute. It is like, it falls into the category of the stabby crafts, like punch needle is a stabby craft.
Right.
Anything where you stab in is a stabby
That's what
craft.
we do here. We stab.
You do a lot of stabs.
We do a lot of stabs.
It's very cathartic too, I'm
We
sure.
also do a lot of frogging.
Frogging, like
Frogging.
closures for,
Frogging.
No, frogging. Rip it, rip it, rip it.
sorry. I walked right into that. It was an excellent joke though. That is an excellent joke, I have
That's
to
what, we
say.
even have scissor fobs that have a frog at the end of them.
For ribbit, rip it. Oh my gosh. So a needlepoint, people that work with needles know this joke.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh my
Not all, but
gosh.
some, yeah, they're learning.
Well, they all ought to know it because it
Yeah.
really. We only have
We
dirty
didn't invent
jokes.
the idea, but it's done, but- And then, of course, we have the magnets, like the one you have.
Yes,
on
I
your
love
photo.
that magnet. I got one of these.
She got one of the Bovers.
It was one of the. I bought one of the glass ones.
Oh, on the other side.
Yeah, I'll go to the other
There's so
side.
many
These are
different
beautiful too, right? These are the needle nannies, sometimes needle nannies, needle minders. Oh my gosh, what's this?
Punch needle.
Okay, these are punch designs here. Oh wow, those are real pretty. Look at that.
And some of them have the fabric, they're already printed on the fabric. And some of them
Whoa. The sweetheart tray and in different brands too. Right? These are adorable. Flutter by. Oh my gosh. Always time to stitch. Okay, so this whole container, right, the whole basket is punch designs. Whoa. All right. And let me go around. Let me show you these needle minders because they are fused glass. And a bunch of thistles. I just got that because of the store's name.
Yes.
Got it. These are the Beauvais Art. This is the strongest needle nanny I've had so far. So I got one of these, and it is super strong. I stick my scissors and my hook on it while I'm hooking. And it is like powerful.
Through the glass, or do you want me to take them out?
Can you see them through the glass?
Yeah, I can see it.
They're all different designs, right? They are actually glass. Some have the metallic element, some have pictures. Really pretty. Right? I think you
There we
probably
go.
saw it on my thing the other day, right? I had it right clipped onto my thing.
And then the ones that we've been doing very well with lately are the Mahjong tiles.
Mahjong tiles. Mahjong is illegal, isn't it? Not to have the tile, but isn't it illegal to play?
No.
I thought it was
People-
considered gambling.
I think just about every senior citizen in the country, senior
Really?
citizen center in the country has a.
I didn't know that. I thought that was naughty.
Those are,
What's
some of them
that?
are enameled, or
Yeah.
enameled.
Oh, the enameled ones are pretty too. So this is the largest selection of needle minders I've ever seen at a store. Oh, I just noticed that tree. Isn't that pretty? The Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This one?
Isn't
It's a
that
designer
pretty?
tree, I think it's.
Oh, whoa, that's really pretty. You know, it's nice to have a few different ones, right? If
And then this
so I can,
self-finishing things are the big thing, because during COVID, everybody and her sister was stitching. And the finishers got so backed up.
okay,
that
yep.
there are more and more and more people now coming out with self-finishing
That's
products.
smart.
Many of them were leather. I'm not sure if there's anything here. But
That's nice. That's like a little Nantucket basket
it's
kind of
like a
thing.
little Nantucket basket, and it has a,
Imagine how pretty that is.
and then you could put your rug, your little hook,
You could do, yeah,
piece in
needle
there.
art
And it
or
comes
rug.
with- This is the size we have in stock right now. She also has them oval with a larger opening,
Yeah.
rectangular and square.
Oh my gosh.
And
Round.
the rattan, yeah, and
she's
round, I
working on-
guess.
Yeah, we just haven't
It's
gotten
just beautiful. It's a beautiful basket too. Like
Yeah.
it's a
They're
beautiful
nice and
bag.
made, yeah.
It's
They're
not.
nice and made.
Yeah, it's not crafty rafty. That's really pretty. And then there's some.
People, everyone loves the ribbit.
They like the rivet.
Yeah,
The rivet.
ribbit.
And this is.
Oh, look at how nice that is.
And then it's got
So
a
nice for summer, huh?
little pocket inside here, snap shut, that you can just mount your piece and then
Really pretty.
load it in there.
That's
So these
really
come in
pretty.
different sizes. They also come, we only have the rattan color ones, but they also come in black and white.
I love the color change too on the way that the thing
I
is
like
made.
the natural look.
It's so pretty. What a pretty summer thing.
Yes.
And then some finished stuff in here. I see a nice fob. Right, there's tons of finished stuff. Canvases everywhere.
Yes.
Right. So, what's this, Judy?
That is if you wanted to have something that stood up.
Oh,
ornament
like a
that
small
stands up.
framed thing kind of thing?
Like one
okay.
like an
Oh,
ornament
the little
one.
face
Oh,
thing.
oh.
Yeah.
We took one of these ornaments, instead of having it made as a hanger with a loop at the top, it could work with a round one. But what you do is you have a slit made by the finisher at the bottom, and then you put this in. So
Oh
now
my
it becomes
gosh.
Almost like it's like an easel.
Oh my
but
gosh.
It's, attached in.
That's like a tiny dummy board, right? It's like a tiny, like in front of
Yeah,
the
kind of.
fireplace, like
Yeah,
a tiny
yeah.
dummy board. But that's going to stand forever like that. That's
Yeah.
so clever.
And of course, it makes them easy because you can slide them out and then store your product if it's, for instance,
If it's a different season, and it's maybe on the windowsill or something.
right.
And then some cool things over here, right? I could see that these are to hold your spools, right? Because that's
Yeah,
those are-
always,
yeah, those are
right?
useful.
And how about this? Is this the same kind of thing?
No, that goes in with
Stretcher
the
bars, if you have a.
Oh,
If you
okay.
have a 10 square.
Oh,
Stick them
okay.
square so that they don't distort
That makes a lot of sense. You put them on the interior of the frame.
in the corner.
Yep. Lots of bits and pieces, right? And again, this is, oh, look at Historic Handworks. Oh, so this must be a brand.
Yep.
Very,
Another Connecticut designer.
oh, really?
Down your way. No, not quite. Norwalk.
Now, how do you find, like, there's a lot of
We
people.
found her because, she found us because she
Yeah.
was a customer.
Okay. So she just got so into it, she started doing her own designing. Fantastic. It's great that you stock them too, for local, local people. And stuff that comes all the way from New Zealand. It's just a lot. I'm not even gonna get into this stuff. You can see it's a lot of canvases, right? It's a lot of like hand-painted canvases that are super, super attractive, alluring. I mean, colorful. Yeah, it really is fun. Look at this stuff. This is like two-sided, right? It goes like right down, almost like, not a
Yeah,
belt
it's just
pull, but
folded over, yeah, it's one large piece.
gosh. This really is it's a whole new world for me. And it's fun. I say this all the time on the show. We don't have a lot of rug hooking stores, right? As rug hookers, we just don't have stores that you can walk in. It's so fun to find a store where there are some crossover materials, where you can do some shopping in person and spend some time and have some fun, right? It's like, it's a game changer for us because other than knitting stores, and they tend to be very expensive. Not everybody wants to go in and buy, 8 hanks that are $40 each. It's a lot. But being able to come here and get a little bit of wool, cotton, different materials, little bits and pieces that you can use, super fun. I am immediately going to start a punch needle project with my wools. I'm really excited. So, are there any questions before we log off?
No direct questions, I don't think. People chatting amongst themselves. So, a lot of people jealous, a lot of people asked about where it is again and stuff.
So I'll just reiterate that we are at Thistle Needleworks in Weathersfield, Connecticut. I'm going to log off in just a minute. You can do mail order from this store. And Karen, do you want to repeat the? Oh, let's do that.
Yeah.
And the Gmail is, or the email. I'm
Email
sorry.
is thisneedle@aol.com, which is also on there.
Okay.
So, website, you can see that. Can you see that? Is
Yeah.
it clear?
I think it should be.
And so apneedlearts.com.
Yep.
And the email, thisneedle@aol.com.
Not that needle, this needle.
This
Short for Thistle Needleworks, but this needle. Yep.
Got it. Short
Yep.
for Thistle. So I'm going to keep this too. I'll remind you when I go live tonight because we have our cocktail night show tonight, right? So if you have any questions, get them in really fast. I'm going to head back to those binders and look at some of those patterns and see if they're in the back. I have a little pile of stuff going already. I'm going to do a little bit more shopping while we're here, right? But it was so nice of you to have us. It was such a lot of fun.
Pleasure.
Judy and Karen. And again, if you have questions about these materials, about what you can use them for, about crossing over these materials to miniature punch, what a great thing to do for summer, right? Not having a big, huge, heavy thing on your lap in the heat, but doing a smaller project and being able to use some different materials, all these different colors, small amounts, smaller expense, getting a bunch of different colors for less, and then you get more colors. It's a great thought for summertime, right? So much fun. Jay, did you want to say anything?
Good.
He's like, no, thank you. I will
My
see.
right elbow is getting sore.
Yeah.
It is, right?
Yeah.
I will see you tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for cocktail night. We're going to be finishing the Digging Deeper tour at the Webb.
Webb Dean
Dean
Stevens
Stevens.
house.
Yeah.
It's actually the Webb Dean Stevens Museum
Okay.
because it's 3 houses. One of them was Silas Dean, the other one, and I think it's Thomas Webb, and I've forgotten the name of the third person, but it's.
Yeah, because they've
Mr.
rebranded
Stevens, yes.
recently. But we started that tour. We only got to 2 pieces of needle art.
I don't think they merged recently. It's been many,
It's been a
many,
while.
many years.
I think the last time I came was about 20 years ago.
Okay, no,
So it wasn't, it wasn't recent. But what a beautiful tour that was. So I'm going to pick that up today. And if you have any questions about the video here, make sure that you ask. Otherwise, get in touch, right? Send an email, give a call. And otherwise, I will see you at 7 p.m. tonight, Eastern Standard Time for cocktail night. Thumbs up, like, subscribe, and we will see you soon. Take care, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
That was